Recording in progress.
No man in the world. No man in the world.
The measure of any society is how it treats its women and girls. It's women and girls.
We create
the smart, powerful, creative, accomplished young women.
We can fight.
I'm here because of you. I'm here because girls like you inspire me. Many of these girls have faced unthinkable obstacles just to attend school. Any society is how it treats its women and girls.
Won't stand still.
Your story is my story. Your story is my story.
Won't be shamed.
Your story is my story. Your story is my story. Story. And I told them that they should disregard.
Buckle up, buttercups. It's another episode of Surly Voices here on WMNF Tampa 88.5. My name is Liz. I'm one of your hosts. My co-host Maria joining us by Zoom. How are you, Maria?
I'm well, Liz. How are you doing?
I'm here. It's near the end of the week, so it seems like every day is a new day. So there's no ends of the week for me anymore. So if you would like to join the conversation, give us a call, 813-239-9663, or you can email to dj@wmnf.org. So what's on your plate today to talk about? Maria?
Oh, you know what? I was gonna turn the tables on you and ask you what you would like to talk about today, because I feel like you always ask us. And
okay.
I think we should switch it up a little bit. But
very good, very fair. Yes, absolutely.
We're like 105 days into this new
regime.
So what's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to loop back to a topic that we talked about last week, which was the Trump saying he wanted to be nominated for Pope, and then Lindsey Graham jumping on that bandwagon. Well, he after our show, he actually doubled down on that and posted an AI image of him as the Pope. And then I started hearing from the Catholics about that. Even my youngest sister, who is in no way controversial or confrontational, she was so hot that she posted on Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, this is what happens when we elect these clowns. So she was extremely upset about it. Still is. She's posted more, and I can't even remember the last time she posted anything except nice, mild things. And it's like, yeah, come out swinging. Yeah. So, and then JD Vance comes along and says, oh, well, it was just a joke. Well, when Kathy Griffin posed with Trump's head on a spike, she lost her career because of all the outrage,
Yep.
So it's a huge double standard, all the way around. And for folks who can't see that, well, they made it all about the price of groceries. I haven't noticed a huge difference in the price of groceries, especially on day one. But yeah, it's he's claiming all these things that are absolutely not true and are really very clearly rebuttable. And he just keeps on keeping on. That's what because he's not playing to the general public. He is playing to his base. So that's what he's doing. What do you think, Maria?
I thought he did a press conference at the White House, and he was asked about it, and he sounds like he's in middle school. Like, I don't know. He was like, it was just a joke. I don't, and the reporter, followed up and was a little bit more probative. And he says, the Catholics didn't mind. I'm sorry. Even his buddy, Cardinal Dolan, said, yeah, no bueno.
Yeah.
So, although he said it in Italian, hoping that most Americans wouldn't understand what he said. He was asked about it. He was asked about it in Rome, and he said, yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Yeah.
So I think he can pretend that it wasn't offensive, like he always
does.
Yeah, but,
All right. Well, let's see what Jack in Dover thinks. Hi, Jack. Jack?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I almost didn't have you there for a second. I just would like to know your opinion on the pictures of Marilyn Manson when he was dressed up like the Pope and had the little monkey. Did you find that offensive?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, especially, this particular Pope was different than any popes I can ever remember. And let me disclaim the fact that I was a Catholic. I was born Catholic, raised Catholic. I left the church when they elected the Nazi Pope. And then, so that was the last the Catholic Church saw of me. But I had great admiration and respect for Pope Francis. And so there are certain things that you don't parody. You don't parody religious figures. You don't parody, people who are disadvantaged. So yeah, I think nobody dressing up as the Pope is a good idea. However, the sitting head of the United States to portray himself as the Pope in the mourning period before they even start the conclave to elect a new Pope. So
that's the part.
It's it's timing. I don't know when Marilyn Manson did his. I don't think there was a Pope that had recently died and the mourning period was going on. So yeah, I do think it's offensive.
Okay.
What about you, Jack?
I enjoyed the pictures of Marilyn Manson, honestly. Just the way that he was distorting the way the poses themselves, he was distorting the way his body looked. I interpret it as very artistic, and that oftentimes religion can be distorted by the people that are involved in it. It could be oftentimes misinterpreted as being more about money than about God.
Right. I agree with that, but this Pope Francis was totally different than the prior, gold-plated popes.
Well, was Donald Trump saying that he should replace Pope Francis? Is that what you're upset about, or what exactly is it that you're upset about?
I'm not upset per se. I'm appalled that the President of the United States posted an AI.
It is beneath the dignity of the office. Let's start there.
Let's start there. Exactly. During the mourning period. So yeah, that's what I'm upset about.
Well,
but
can I ask you one more question, please?
Hurry, because I got other callers on the queue.
Okay. My last question to you then is, do you believe that anyone, not just a church official, but anyone, can baptize a person in the name of God?
I don't see why not, yeah.
Okay.
I got a story about that later, but I got to clear up this queue, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks so much, Jack. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Parker in Tampa. Hi, Parker.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. But, is there ever a time that you don't bash Trump ever on your show? You don't have one thing good to say about him at all ever, which is such a one-sided, radio show.
Well, that's why we have callers like you who call in, Parker, to fill in the void of Trump supporters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just disappointed because, it just seems to be less conversation, more opinion.
Well,
That's
tell
all
us what you think is good about Trump.
There's so many good things about Trump. And you know what? Listen, I can't tell you that in 2 minutes on a telephone call. All I can say is it takes time. You had 4 years with the old man. Nothing happened. He was sleeping half the time. Now we got a guy who's got energy. He's got proposals. He's got things to do. It's going to take some time. It doesn't always happen in the first 100 days, even though he made his promises. But that's the typical personality of this man.
Well,
Overindulge.
Yeah, and Parker, if you've listened to our show with any regularity, you know that we savaged Joe Biden on the regular, okay? So it's not like we are directing our focus only in one direction. Joe Biden should never have been president. I have said that so many times on this show. If I had probably $1 for every time, I'd be a thousandaire at least. So yeah, Trump...
Can I ask you one question, and I'll let you run?
Sure.
If you had to make one decision, and you had to make A or B, and you had to pick one, would you pick Trump or Biden?
I would have to pick Biden.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. More passive for you. Is that correct?
No, it's
less destructive for me.
Less destructive. I mean, they're both bad choices. Let's make that clear. They're both horrible choices, but between the two, Joe Biden is the less horrible.
Okay, I could see your point. I guess at this point, and I'll let you run, we got 3 3/4 years left, or 3.5. Let's see what happens. Let's support what we have. I was always raised in the manner that whoever it is, Democrat, Republican, and I'm 68, so I think you still got to support your president, because then it becomes a very difficult and unruly little country, So let's see what happens in 3.5 years, and maybe things are going to be great. If not, we have every reason to talk about him if he didn't do well, but we got to give this man some time.
Well, thanks for calling, Parker. It's always good to hear a different point of view. Fran in Largo. Hi, Fran.
Hi. Yes, getting back to the talking about Trump and his picture as the Pope. I was born Catholic. I gave up on the Catholic Church long ago. But Pope Francis, for some reason, just as a human being, he was a very, very good human being to have on this earth while he was here. And I'm not offended by what Trump did. Pope Francis transcends that. It doesn't make any less of Pope Francis to me at all. Trump was just being a jackass, as is his usual thing. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And that fellow that just called, I'm picking my brain to find something good about Donald Trump. The only thing I can come up with is that as a human being, this probably isn't a good thing, as a human being like the rest of us, we know we're all going to die someday, and so is he. So maybe that's the best thing about Donald Trump that I can think of. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Fran. Bye-bye. All right, let's talk to Mike in Sarasota. Hi, Mike.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, so refreshing to have some sanity. And I was not going to call in because I had a little accident yesterday, and I'm limping around, all crippled up. And I'm 68 too. And I don't know, what was that guy's name? Parker.
Parker. Mm-hmm.
Bless his heart. Listen, Parker, let me help you out here. That was a great dodge and drift you did there, Parker. And I'm not trying to bash you, dude, but you still never did say one single good thing about Trump. It was all, let's give him some time. Oh, come on with that. Sorry, excuse.
Well, yeah,
And
because
why
we had a preview 4 years for 4 years.
And
Yeah.
Okay, and what? How come I can't? How come nobody is talking about genocide? How come nobody's talking about? I mean, they're all talking, but like, I want to see somebody. You know, let's. I don't know. I respect the French because the French don't put up with this crap. They're out on the streets with pitchforks. They're throwing the mess
Right.
down the drain. You know, Americans sit back and go, "Oh man, this could get bad." Well, yeah, folks, we're losing our country right in front of your eyes. And Parker, my friend, if you're willing to wait 3.5 years, why don't you go to Gaza and see if you can wait 3.5 years for a food truck, brother?
Right. All right.
So anyway, I'm sorry, I wasn't going to call in, but that's it. Loving you guys. I'm going to let you get back to the queue.
Thanks, Mike. Bye-bye.
Peace.
One thing that came out is that Pope Francis was calling Gaza. There was a settlement of folks that he talked to every day, pretty much, in Gaza, and that wasn't shocking to me, but it was a nice surprise. Let's talk to Jerry in St. Pete. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, ladies. Thank you so much for your show. So I do have a question for you, a serious question. So I heard the last couple of callers, and my question to you is, which I've called into WMNF multiple times, what about Jill Stein? Jill Stein was up there supporting the Palestinians as an alternative. Nobody's talking about the third-party candidate anymore. Is it just still not possible? Can you guys talk about that?
Yes, we can talk about that. In fact,
Okay.
we've talked about
hear it.
Yeah. Maria, why don't you jump this off while I send Donna a link, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks.
I mean, what do you want me to say about Jill Stein? I do value her politics. How do I say this? I would like to, and the one thing that I appreciate now that she's doing that she hasn't done in the past is she's more consistent. Like, I see her more. She's amplifying her voice, and she's calling attention. She's not as out there as Medea Benjamin is. I think Medea Benjamin has done a remarkable job at calling attention, particularly to genocide and particularly to calling out what is going on in Congress. But I just wish that for the platform that Jill Stein has had over the course of the last several years, I just wish that she used it more consistently. And I would have thought she would have been more viable had she done so. That is my frustration with Jill Stein.
And Jill Stein aside, what about the rise of a third party? Is that something we're going to see in our lifetimes? Oh my God, what happened? Oh, something has happened. And let's see. Let me get back to the phone, and we'll talk to Rod. Hi, Rod.
Hey, how you doing? I was just calling in regard to that guy that said you guys never talk good about Trump. It's really hard to talk good things about a guy that has no redeeming qualities.
That was going to be my go-to, but I didn't want to alienate him so quickly.
In my opinion, and this isn't a recent thing with me, I haven't liked the guy ever said he made those nasty comments on Howard Trump 20 years ago about his own daughter.
Yeah, that was gross.
You know?
Yeah.
And just like you said about the Pope, there are just some things that you do not joke about. Your own family, talking about you'd be doing your own daughter if she wasn't your daughter. I mean, I have 2 daughters myself. I would never even think of saying something about like that, even in jest. And that, to me, tells me what kind of a person he is and how he thinks.
Right.
And I don't understand these supporters of this guy. This guy, I want to ask him, would you trust him with your daughter? Would you trust him with your life savings, this guy that called in? Would you do that? Because he's not a businessman. He is a con man. He's always been a con man. And he lies about everything. I'm trying to think of any truthful thing he said since I've known him or heard of him, and I can't think of one.
Right. Exactly. So thanks for calling, Rod.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. And welcome to Ms. Davis. How are you, Donna?
It's been a week.
It has been a week, and it's still going to be a week until it's over.
I'm an old enough adult that, you just, you see it, you feel it, you work through it, you come out on the other side. But I want to talk.
Recording in progress.
I want to talk to the caller that said about the third party perspective, right? Everybody is sitting at home saying, what are they going to do? And that's why we're having the outcome that we're having. Every single person that is not the yellow vests is in their house saying, why aren't these legislators doing something? Why aren't these protesters protesting better? Why aren't the crowds bigger? That's everybody's question. And so I don't have to do the math on that. When everyone is at home wondering what everyone else is doing, that usually means no one is really doing
anything. Yeah.
Or not enough to move the needle, as it were.
Right. All right. So we got two Garys. We got St. Pete Gary and Clearwater Gary, and Clearwater Gary goes first. Hi, Gary in Clearwater.
Well, hello. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. I wanted to say that if there's any picture that should be depicting Trump, it should be him with two horns and a point in his tail.
Two horns and that's a good one. I like it. I'm going to get with my folks who know how to do AI and get that going. Yeah. Great idea, Gary.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling, and we'll get to Gary in St. Pete. Hi, Gary.
Hi.
This is the first time we've had two Garys back to back, or two Garys at all.
What's weird? You know what's weird? I just got my hair cut yesterday, and my barber's name was Gary.
No.
I swear.
Gary Stravaganza.
It's a Gary. I've never heard anybody by my name before. I mean, not never, but anyway, it was weird. I just want to tell you, the only time I voted for a third-party candidate was Ralph Nader.
Oh, that's stretching way back. Yeah.
No, I'm an old man.
Hello?
There was just something about, did you ever read Unsafe at Any Speed?
I did not read Unsafe at Any Speed.
Please read it.
Okay. I will do that.
That was Ralph Nader.
Right. I know he wrote the book, but I haven't read it, so. All right.
And he's like the ultimate consumer, protector.
Right. Consumer advocate, yes. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Okay.
And I just want to say, I have HIV, and I'm afraid he's going to take my meds away from me.
Oh.
Trump. 35 years.
I feel for you, Gary, and there are people out there who are helping folks who can't afford the medication. So
I can afford them. He's going to take them away.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll look for resources, and we'll actually look for somebody who can speak to where to look for these different drugs and drug assistance. But we'll try to get that expedited so that folks like you can have places to turn in times like these.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Keep the faith.
Yes. Oh, Maria?
I mean, Gary's plight is exactly speaks to what one of our first callers was pleading for us to do, right? Like, not everybody has 3 years to wait.
Exactly.
Because it's the cruelty, right? And it is the dehumanization of people.
It's the point.
Exactly. Right. And it's the dehumanization of people that I find so objectionable, right?
Yes.
Like, yes, I live in Palm Beach County. I've known the man as a Palm Beach County resident for over 20 years. That means that even when he was a Democrat, right? So, you know, as much as
he was a Democrat,
it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what his political leanings are. And I'm sure some people who are now, you know, cult fans of his would not even have supported him as a Democrat.
Right.
But it's the cruelty that has been consistent regardless of party.
Right.
That is objectionable.
Thank you so much for calling, Gary.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. And so, it's deporting United States citizens for no good. I mean, there is no due process in the United States right now because they're just tossing people out when they don't, like what they're doing. It's mind-boggling to me. Let me see. Wonderful. No, okay. This is the part of the program where I complain that I didn't bring my glasses. And okay, all right. Well, bless Parker's heart. He's confusing the fact that there's nothing good to say with his bias and how he pretends that there is good there. All right. And that's a text. All right. Trump is less like the Pope and more like the poop. He believes in all right. Oh, but this is from Bubba, and Bubba has kindly sent us a meme with Trump. Oh my God, dressed like the poop emoji. Okay. Parker is fully ensconced in the Trump cult. I'm tired of these Trumpster divers. Bubba. Thanks for sending that, Bubba. Let's see. This is another text message. It says, the Orange Goblin had 4 years prior. Did Parker forget? Parker was, I would have to guess that maybe Parker benefited from some of the Trump policies. Let's see. This is from Martin. Not just the worst president, also the worst person ever. Listen to him speak. He is worse than Biden ever was. Not that I am a fan of Biden. Yeah, same. Mary Ann says, he's getting older. He can't live much longer. Love your show. Thank you, Mary Ann. Let's see. Bob in Melbourne says, I have a rule about politics. Never vote for anyone that you wouldn't trust to pet sit your dog. Ooh, that would clear out a lot of space in Congress, Bob. Let's see. Here's a voicemail. It says, I don't understand why Congress is not taking action to stop 47. This is from Ann in Oldsmar. Maria, Donna, do you guys have an idea why Congress isn't doing anything to stop him?
In the words of what's her name, Senator Murkowski, they're terrified.
Right.
This is mob rule, and they're terrified of retribution. They're terrified of all of the things that will be exacted upon them, and they're terrified. So I don't expect it to change at all. I don't expect them to actually abide by the Constitution and do their constitutional duty. I don't expect him to. He was asked the other day, does he feel obligated to uphold the Constitution? He doesn't think he has to.
Exactly.
So, and then you have a Supreme Court that gave him immunity, right? What did they think was going to happen when they did that last year?
I don't know, but I'm sure that. I hope that the ones who voted for that are like, oh my gosh, yeah, this was totally a mistake. But I don't know how they couldn't see that come. I mean, that was very clear what was going to go on there. Let's talk to Stephen in St. Petersburg. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, I was listening to the show. I wanted to remind people, when you go back to 2016 when Trump whipped Hillary Clinton, a lot of the Bernie people voted for Trump, threw the dice with Trump, because they were fed up with the Democratic Party. And see, understand this. You go back to the Obama administration, right? Who crushed the Occupy movement? Barack Obama. When you had the Flint water crisis up there, Obama could have signed executive order, got those people health care, got that thing straightened out. Instead, he protected Rick Snyder. And I remind people, Joe Biden crushed the railroad workers' strike and the offshore strike. So we have to come, I've said this a million times on this show, that you have a political duopoly that are identical. They'll argue about identity politics occasionally to keep the country divided, but they serve their donors. It's that simple. It doesn't matter if it's Trump or Joe Biden. We still don't have universal health care in the country.
We
don't have maternal leave for pregnant women and married couples, single women. We don't have free college tuition. We don't have these programs. We don't have an infrastructure program. And so, when people talk about Trump, keep in mind, before Trump beat Hillary Clinton, okay, he was beloved. He was on Saturday Night Live. He had his own talk show, and he was on every TV show, news show. Everybody loved him.
Well,
when he beat the wicked witch, Hillary Clinton, which is probably the most hated woman on this planet, the Trump derangement syndrome happened. And that's why people just have this hatred for the guy now.
No, I could not disagree with you more.
Disagree on what?
Pretty much everything you just said.
I agree with you, Liz.
What are you basing?
There's a couple of things he said that are accurate, right?
Yes.
Around the Flint water crisis and things like that. But the facts,
by the way.
Stephen, we have to take turns. Let Maria speak, please.
The facts around Bernie voters are that more Bernie voters voted for Hillary Clinton. So I don't want to bash Bernie voters at all. Bernie voters.
All right, Stephen, we're going to let you go because we don't feel like being yelled at this morning.
Bernie voters supported Hillary Clinton in a larger degree than Hillary supporters supported Barack Obama. That is a fact.
Yes, that is my understanding. You and Donna are the experts in the political field. So.
Because I will go to the mat for and defend people who supported Bernie Sanders, and people accuse them of not, quote unquote, supporting the better candidate. Right. People love to fault Bernie Sanders voters. Go on, Donna.
Nope, I'm just in the amen corner. Just keep going. Do it.
Do it.
This is the thing, because the thing about it is, Bernie voters have always been passionate. I have been one of them. We and Donna and I personally know people who worked on in the highest levels of Bernie Sanders' campaign in 2016. People supported Hillary Clinton because they knew what a threat this man was to democracy in 2016. So I never want to hear anybody say, well, that's why Bernie Sanders voters voted for Trump, because most of them didn't. Most of them did what they had to do to prevent this from happening. So I never want people to say that Bernie Sanders voters stood down and protested their choices, because they did not.
Right.
They understood the assignment.
And Stephen's not the only person saying that. Stephen seems to be on the Trump side, but there's plenty of folks on the Democratic side who spew that same venom every time. If only the Bernie voters, blah, blah, blah.
But I didn't get that he was on the Trump side as much as he is looking for an excuse to go there. Right? When I hear people say identity politics, that's a ruse to wrap into that burrito the real and enduring oppression of marginalized groups. So if it's just identity politics, then none of this stuff ever happened, and people are just playing the race card. We hear that a lot. And a lot more people think that than actually say it.
Right.
So there are people who will walk next to you in a protest about things that impact marginalized people, but will secretly think people should just stop whining. We see that show up in the votes. So someone says, hey, I'm for this and I'm for that and I'm for that. But then people get all up in their feelings about trans people actually being humanized.
Right.
And decide that they're going to go to the QAnon side because people are upset about not being whole humans in this society. This makes no sense. And the other thing I wanted to say that the callers brought out about Joe Biden crushing the rail workers strike, that was true and probably one of the things that Maria agrees with. But can we please talk about how Bernie's sidekick AOC also voted the rail workers down? Like that is a thing that happened. And nobody talks about this stuff. When you say, and I'm not a purist, right? Like I believe that we got a lot of dirty candidates and a lot of dirty people in office, right? And then we have a tight circle of people like Andre Carson in Indiana. I was talking about him to Heather Armand the other day. She's working on reproductive rights in Virginia, and we just get on the phone and chat once a week. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about, I brought Andre Carson up to her, and I said, there are people in the U.S. Congress that are quietly doing the right thing consistently outside of the cameras, outside of the view of the cameras. They are not coming to the American people and asking for their 15 minutes of fame because, and listen, I'll cut myself off. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but anytime you see someone that is constantly in the media, for whatever reason, they are making money. Mm-hmm. So there are people in our Congress right now who will put their dukes up so that they can get there.
Yeah.
Up, right? So that's a thing that's happening. And that's not exactly a revolution, because when you call upon these people to actually do things that have impact, they'll be missing. And so that's some of the stuff that, because I pay close attention to these things, I notice. So while I agree with some of the things that he said about some of the people who have acted in untoward ways in our legislative body, there's also the idea that there's a baseline. Mm-hmm. And everyone is kind of hanging out around that baseline, which is why the U.S. looks more like U.S. than it does France.
Right.
I got lost in that, but I think you guys know what I was trying to say.
All right. So let's get to Elsa in Gulfport. Ooh, people's on fire today wanting to talk. Hi, Elsa.
It's Elisa.
Elisa. Sorry, I don't have my glasses and Donna's not here to read the screen.
No worries. It happens a lot. First off, Congress only cares about their own money and power. 95%, maybe 98% of that. The Supreme Court is totally corrupted. 6 are just religious fanatics, even though separation of church and state. And let's talk about, I barely can say his name, Hegseth. Let's have a moment to talk about, besides the trans, I'm in the community, I'm queer, I'm neurodivergent, and I'm breaking. What he's done by wanting to get rid of 20% of generals, officers, that's a setup. And add more enlisted people, more soldiers. If you get rid of the people, they're kind of a little bit of a barrier. If you get rid of the generals, all you got is a bunch of young, just like Israel's military, people that will follow his orders. There won't be people to stop him. That's what I see by him saying, I'm on a bike, let's get rid of 20%. There's too many people in the upper level. What y'all think?
Wow. That's a way to put it, for real.
That's my neurodivergence. I'm big heart, deep thinker, in a lot of pain for the whole world.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern. I mean, I saw that he was going to do that, and I hadn't thought it all the way through about why would he want to get rid of. But yeah, that totally makes sense, Elisa. I'm so sorry. Wow.
And I'm putting it out here so that we, bring that out so people hear that part too.
Right.
Screw Trump. We know who Trump is. We've been very, I've known who he is. I used to spend some time on the Jersey Shore. I saw when he was building his casino. I didn't spend time there, but I was with a friend.
Yeah.
So, that's really important for people to think. And I'm about ready to protest, and I don't want to get arrested. So if you ladies are going to be at Heat Wave, maybe you have some protest flashlights for me so I don't get arrested. Or shot.
Right. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for calling, Elisa.
Thank you, Elisa. You know what? Do we have callers backed up?
We do. Let me get to JJ real quick because he's been hanging on for 10 minutes. Okay. JJ in Sarasota. JJ. I guess JJ.
Call us back, JJ. We'll prioritize you.
Oh, wait. Hello. Yeah. JJ, you're on the air.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe JJ will have to call back.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Let's take a moment to say, I was listening to Elisa. Okay. And I just randomly became slightly emotional, right? I'm not a crier. I'm a warrior, right? Somebody ticked me off yesterday. I got up and I put on my red and white today, which is the color of the warrior in Yoruba and Santeria, because I am feeling like I'm not going to lay down for this, right? And I need to show up on the right side of this. And so that caller earlier kind of pricked my spirit a little bit when he was talking about why aren't we doing what France is doing, because we're all sitting at home wondering why aren't we doing what France is doing. The other thing is this. Can we just talk about the emotional toll? Right? Anybody that's holding on the line, can you bring that forward in your conversation? The emotional toll this is taking on all of us, from the consultants who are agonizing over if they're choosing the right candidates. When people show these traits that look like they're going to take us back into some of the same things that our generation has fought to get out of. We've now passed this thing down a couple generations behind me now, maybe 3, because I'm getting up there. But I'm starting to wonder, how are people doing out there? That is my question to everybody.
Well, I think we can see from some of the folks who've called in this morning that it's already taken its toll, and we're only, 105 days in? I mean,
I'm going to ask y'all not to keep saying those number of days out loud, because every time y'all say that, it sets me back years in my therapy.
It's like dog years.
Well, how are people feeling?
So, yeah. Well, let's talk to Kirk in St. Petersburg, and maybe Kirk's got something to tell us about how you feeling, Kirk?
Hey, I'm feeling fine. I want to switch gears here a little. I want to talk about our little diminutive governor. When he came out with his Doge little department, I think that's the first time I agreed with him on something. And that point is, he admitted how wasteful and corrupt the Republican government in our state has been for 25 years.
Yes.
And thank God for him for that. And my second point I wanted to ask you is, you're a lawyer. Maybe you can answer this for me. Is using a turn signal in Florida illegal?
I don't do traffic law. Sorry.
Well, I'm on the road a lot, and I'm telling you what. It's amazing how many people will not use a turn signal.
I know. Most don't. Yeah, you're right. And then they just cut up on in front of you. Yeah, so.
All righty. Well, keep up the good work, ladies.
Thank you so much, Kirk. Bye-bye. All right, Greg in Tampa. Hi, Greg.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Nice show. Sounds really informative. I don't agree with some things. I do think the Doge thing, the last caller about, was spot on with Ron DeSantis and the Republicans running a corrupt government for the last 25 years is spot on. However, I wanted to talk about Trump and his narcissism. I wrote an op-ed in the New York Times not so long ago that got several recommendations, quite a few, really. But Trump's major thing is that a lot of people can't really understand and wrap their head around is he's a malignant narcissist. And there's really no cure for that kind of thing. He doesn't really care about anybody. He's void of any empathy, and he surrounds himself with people who are void of empathy. He really enjoys that kind of thing. He likes conflict. He likes cruelty. This guy is just a sheep and a wolf in a sheep's clothes. What he is.
Right.
So we're just going to have to recognize that Trump has no redeeming qualities because of his mental condition.
Well, yeah. I can't blame. There's plenty of narcissists out there that aren't, burning the whole world down for their own benefit. So
haven't been given the ability to burn the world down.
Yes, there you go.
Correct. Unfortunately, though, he's a malignant narcissist, which really makes him dangerous. So, especially in a position of his being the most powerful person in the world, those things make it pretty dangerous to operate. I really think that he's taking things out on people that he doesn't believe came to his aid when he was.
Of course he is. That's what he does. He's very vengeful. Yeah.
Yeah, but mostly he doesn't really feel that anybody came to his aid when he was indicted. And I think he's making everybody pay for it.
He's not in prison because people came to his aid.
Right.
He's not in prison because people refused to testify against him. He's not in prison because people on the judiciary and the executive branch and the legislative branch slow-walked his adjudication. And that's why he's not in prison. And then there are people who love Mad Kings, and they thought the Mad King had a gift for them, that the cake was for them and the Mad King. And now they're finding out that the Mad King has gifts for everyone. And this is what happens. When you elect a Mad King, you get a Mad King. And so people are figuring it out now. But he's not in prison. He's angry and taking it out on everyone because nobody came to his aid. He is the president of the United States, which shows you exactly how mad that actually is.
Thanks for calling, Greg.
Isn't that the truth? I agree with you there.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, let's talk to Jiminy in Town and Country. Hi, Jiminy.
Hey, I wanted to go back to Donna's question of, emotionally, what's going on.
Yes, please.
So, because y'all know I've been in the water for a while. It kind of felt for a minute like, when you're mourning. Don't
make me cry. Don't do it.
I don't want to make you cry. It's just, it's that
it's starting.
There's a big wave of emotion, and then you get numb, and then it comes back to you in little moments, and it's a little easier to digest. But there's so much going on at the same time. It's so overwhelming. It felt like it took me a really, really long time to digest just the election and to recover from everything that happened last summer up to the fall, and then the past insert number of days have been so it is that flood the zone strategy absolutely worked, right? Their strategy worked. It's been overwhelming, the amount of things that I personally have had to juggle with, on top of having to budget for groceries and replace my shoes that are falling apart.
Right.
So it's there's so little room to breathe in this flood of information that I barely have time to even feel what my emotions are. until I'm like around people that are like seeing the same things that I'm seeing and that are like plugged into the same things that I'm plugged into. So I think that emotional aspect is just, I'm so sad, but I'm also like, I have to work each day so I can eat, so I can
Thank
continue
you.
to feel
Yes.
sad.
It's like having a huge loss in your life, and you have to keep working, number one, to distract yourself, but number two, also to live. So yeah.
Yesterday I told my sister, I was like, I just have a little, like the little edges of depression, nothing that oppresses my day. And I wake up and I go, oh, I got to push through this. Like what, real major depression feels like. And a lot of us, if you've had a loss, you know it, right? You know this place. And if you have the disorder, then you also know it. It's a frequent thing. But I said, I just don't know why I'm just having these little flitting edges of depression. Like, like after you drink too much. She said, girl. And she didn't say anything else.
Girl! No, because that makes total sense.
Do you see what's going on? Here, snatching people off the streets and saying sorry.
Right.
Look out the window.
Yeah, of course you're going to cry.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Thanks so much for calling, Jimmy.
Hey, you need to come shopping in my closet if you wear a size 9 or 10.
Oh, girl, I might take you on that.
I got like 400 pair of shoes. I'm trying to change my life. Send Liz a email, and you can come over.
Okay,
all right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jiminy. Bye. The shoes are 9 or 10?
Yes.
Okay. I might come by
on
your
through.
house.
Come on through, baby. And I got
I got so many shoes. I need to do my own divesting. Yes.
And Maria ain't saying nothing because secretly she's probably got a walk-in closet of shoes.
Yeah. Joe in Venice.
No, I just on top in terms of the clothing stuff, I have subscribed to this one of those sites where
you rent the clothes and bring them in.
No. You just purge your closet, and every month they send me a bag. I put everything I want to get rid of in the bag. They take it, they sell it. Maybe I get a couple of bucks here and there, and I don't even pay attention to it anymore. It's just a habit. That's all I'm trying to do.
Wow.
I need that.
All right. So let's get to Joe in Venice and see what he knows about shoes. Hey, Joe.
Good morning. Thank you for the show, ladies. I talked to the devil, and he's doing a little dance right now. The hate meter is way over on the hate side, and he's having a great old time. And all I can say is only love conquers hate. And there's something in the Bible. I'm not a Bible person. I mean, I know a little bit about the Bible. There's something about pray for your enemy. So some prayer, and there's nothing wrong with protesting or anything, but he is all about spewing hate and chaos and division. We all know that. And staying in the news every day by posing as the Pope or whoever he's got to. So we got to say a prayer and go protest. How's that sound?
Sounds good, Joe. Thanks so much for calling.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So, praying for folks hasn't really done thoughts and prayers haven't really done much in the way of helping people. But anyway,
let's talk about this next week.
Yeah. Frank, good idea. Yeah. Frank just gave us the finger, and so that means it's time for us to wrap up. Thank you all for listening to Surly Voices on WMNF Tampa 88.5. Please join us next week.
I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the chula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong. I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi.
This is